Hey guys, for surgery, I'll probably make some more videos like this. Is basically just going to be questions and answers. I'll post a link for my PowerPoint if you prefer to just go through the PowerPoint and answer questions like that way to quiz yourself. Either way, it's here if you want to listen to it in the car. Define capillarity. Define capillarity. Capillarity is the process by which fluid and bacteria are carried into the interstices of multifilament fibers. So again, capillarities is the process by which fluid and bacteria are carried into the interstices of multifilament fibers. The key here is going to be multifilament. What are two advantages of monofilament suture? What are two advantages of monofilament suture? One is that there is less tissue drag compared to multifilament suture. And number two, they do not have interstices, which may harbor bacteria. Number three, what are two advantages of multifilament suture? What are two advantages of multifilament suture? First is that they are more flexible, and secondly, there is better knot holding security. So two advantages of multifilament suture are flexibility and increased security with regards to knot tying. Number four, what is a major disadvantage of multifilament suture? What is a major disadvantage of multifilament suture? This is going to be that relatively high capillarity, or the ability to carry bacteria into the interstices due to those multifilaments layered on top of each other. Number five, what product can aid in decreasing suture tract epithelialization? What product can aid in decreasing suture tract epithelialization? Answer is going to be polysporin, which is a topical antibiotic. So what are the two major intracellular cations? Number six, what are the two major intracellular cations? Those are going to be potassium and magnesium. The major intracellular anions are going to be phosphate, sulfate, as well as proteins. And then the major extracellular cation is going to be sodium, remember salty banana. And the major extracellular anion is going to be chlorine or chloride anion, as well as bicarbonate. Number seven, ACE inhibitor and potassium-sparing diuretics are associated with what condition? ACE inhibitors and potassium-sparing diuretics associated with what condition? Hypercalcemia. Acute pancreatitis is associated with what electrolyte abnormality? Acute pancreatitis is associated with what electrolyte abnormality? Hypocalcemia. Hypocalcemia. Number nine, potassium abnormalities are closely associated with what electrolyte? Potassium abnormalities are closely associated with what electrolyte? Magnesium. Number 10, what makes up the most of the extracellular volume? Number 10, what makes up most of the extracellular volume? Keyword is extracellular. It's going to be interstitial fluid, makes up 75%, whereas the plasma only makes up 25%. On average, the total blood volume in an adult patient is 5 liters. Where is the majority of this blood located? In the veins. What two mechanisms make up fluid homeostasis? What two mechanisms make up fluid homeostasis? Hydrostatic and oncotic pressure. Hydrostatic and oncotic pressure. What is the major determinant of capillary oncotic pressure? What is the major determinant of capillary oncotic pressure? Albumin. What maintains hydrostatic pressure? What maintains hydrostatic pressure? It's going to be your systemic blood pressure. What structures in the kidney senses sodium concentration shifts? So what structure located within the kidney senses a shift in sodium concentration? Macula densa. What is atrial natriuretic factor? What is atrial natriuretic factor? It's released from the cardiac atria in response to increased stretch. This is a homeostatic mechanism that prevents fluid overload. So it senses, it messes with the sodium, so it's a natriuretic factor. Why should dextrose be avoided for aggressive resuscitation during times of severe stress? Why should you avoid using dextrose during aggressive resuscitation during times of severe stress? Hyperglycemia will result, leading to anosmotic diuresis. This will result in increased urine output, which is not what you want during a resuscitation attempt. This is because dextrose is not utilized during times of stress. Essentially, your body becomes hyperglycemic because the dextrose is not being metabolized. So think of a diabetic who does not have insulin. So they become hyperglycemia. Remember the 3 P's, the polyuria, polydipsia. So this is going to be the polyuria. You're going to have increased urine output, which is not what you want. In severe stress state, you want to retain fluid to keep that blood volume open or elevated. All right, lastly, what is the minimum urine output from an adult patient on maintenance fluid? What is the minimum urine output for an adult patient on maintenance fluid? What about an adult trauma patient? For a normal adult, it's going to be 30 milliliters per hour urine output. And for a trauma patient, you want an output of 50 milliliters per hour.